Hello everyone, I'm Ross, your host and guide on this journey of holistic wellness. I'm thrilled to welcome you to episode 5 of Recovery Rising, where we'll be exploring the fascinating intersection of mental health and spirituality. As someone who's walked the path of mental health recovery, I understand the complexities and challenges that come with it. My own journey began with a spiritual emergency that led to a psychotic break, which landed me in the psych ward. It was a transformative experience, to say the least. While it was both terrifying and enlightening, it set me on a path of self-discovery and healing. For years, I had struggled to find my footing, trying to make sense of my experiences and emotions. I felt lost and alone, unsure of how to navigate the mental health system or find the right support. But as I began to explore spirituality and connect with others who shared similar experiences, I started to find my way. Today, I'm passionate about helping others navigate their own mental health journeys, encouraging them to trust their path and seek professional help when needed. I believe that by addressing all aspects of our well-being, mental, emotional, physical, and spiritual, we can find true recovery and wellness. In this episode, we'll delve into the intersection of mental health and spirituality, exploring how these two aspects of our lives are intertwined. We'll discuss how embracing spiritual practices can support our mental well-being and how mental health can inform our spiritual growth. Over the next 25 minutes or so, we'll cover a range of topics, including the connection between mental health and spirituality, the role of mindfulness and gratitude in mental health, the impact of trauma on spirituality, the importance of community in mental health and spirituality, and more. We'll also share personal stories, expert insights, practical tips, to help you integrate spiritual practices into your daily life. Whether you're struggling with mental health issues, seeking spiritual growth, or simply curious about the connection between the two, this episode is for you. Thank you for joining me on this journey of recovery and self-discovery. If you're new here, consider subscribing to Recovery Rising for more episodes on tarot, magic, and spirituality for holistic wellness. And as always, please share your thoughts and feedback with me on social media using the hashtag #RecoveryRising. Let's get started on this journey of exploration and discovery. Have you ever stopped to think about the connection between your mental health and spirituality? Maybe you've wondered how your spiritual beliefs and practices can impact your mental well-being, or vice versa. As someone who's walked the path of mental health recovery, I can tell you that the connection between mental health and spirituality is profound. Let's start with the basics. Mental health and spirituality are two sides of the same coin. Our mental health affects our spiritual well-being, and our spiritual beliefs and practices can have a direct impact on our mental health. Think about it. When we're feeling anxious or depressed, it's easy to feel disconnected from our spiritual selves. And when we're struggling with spiritual doubts or questions, it can affect our mental well-being. So, how do spiritual practices impact mental well-being? Well, for one, spiritual practices like meditation, prayer, and mindfulness can help reduce stress and anxiety. When we take time to quiet our minds and connect with something greater than ourselves, we can find a sense of peace and calm that's hard to find in our busy everyday lives. And when we're feeling more grounded and centered, we're better equipped to handle life's challenges. But it's not just about reducing stress and anxiety. Spiritual practices can also help us develop a sense of purpose and meaning, which is essential for our mental well-being. When we feel connected to something bigger than ourselves, we're more likely to feel motivated and inspired to live our best lives. And when we're living with purpose and meaning, we're less likely to get bogged down in negative thoughts and emotions. Now, I know what you might be thinking, but what about when spirituality feels overwhelming or confusing? That's where the concept of spiritual well-being comes in. Spiritual well-being is a dimension of overall wellness that takes into account our spiritual beliefs, values, and practices. It's about finding a sense of balance and harmony between our spiritual and mental health. When we prioritize spiritual well-being, we're more likely to feel a sense of wholeness and completeness. We're more likely to feel connected to ourselves, others, and the world around us. And that's, my friends, is a recipe for mental health and well-being. So, take a moment to reflect on your own mental health and spirituality. How are they connected for you? How can you prioritize your spiritual well-being to support your mental health? The answers might surprise you. Sitting here, I can't help but think about the power of mindfulness in shaping my mental health journey. It's a concept that's been around for centuries, rooted in spiritual traditions such as Buddhism and meditation, yet its relevance in today's fast-paced world couldn't be more timely. Mindfulness, put simply, is the practice of being present in the moment without judgment or distraction. It's about paying attention to your thoughts, feelings, and sensations and accepting them for what they are. For someone like me who lives with multiple conditions, including autism, ADHD, and bipolar disorder, mindfulness has been a game changer. I use it daily to help navigate the turbulent waters of my emotions, focus, and sensory experiences. It's not about achieving a state of calm or serenity, although that's often a welcome byproduct, but about cultivating awareness and acceptance. When I feel overwhelmed, which is often, mindfulness helps me take a step back and acknowledge my thoughts and emotions without getting caught up in them. It's like taking a bird's eye view of my own mind, observing the chaos without getting tangled in it. This, in turn, reduces my stress and anxiety levels, allowing me to respond to challenging situations more thoughtfully rather than react impulsively. I'm not alone in my experience. Studies have shown that mindfulness practices such as meditation and deep breathing can have a profound impact on mental health. By reducing the body's stress response, mindfulness can alleviate symptoms of anxiety and depression, improving overall well-being. In fact, a recent study published in the Journal of Clinical Psychology found that mindfulness-based interventions were just as effective as medication in reducing symptoms of depression. Personally, I can attest to the transformative power of mindfulness. Before incorporating it into my daily routine, I felt like I was drowning in a sea of anxiety and self-doubt. But with regular practice, I've noticed a significant decrease in my symptoms. I'm more able to recognize when I'm spiraling into negative thought patterns and take corrective action. I'm more patient, compassionate, and understanding, not just with myself, but with those around me. Of course, it's not always easy. There are days when my mind is a jumble of thoughts and focusing on the present moment feels like an insurmountable task. But that's okay. The beauty of mindfulness lies in its imperfections. It's not about achieving some sort of spiritual or emotional perfection. It's about showing up day after day and doing the best you can. Mindfulness is not a cure-all, but it is a powerful tool in my mental health arsenal, one that has helped me find greater peace, clarity, and acceptance, and for that I'm eternally grateful. Trauma can have a profound impact on one's spiritual beliefs and practices. For many people, traumatic experiences can shake the foundations of their faith, leading to questions about the existence of a loving God or the meaning of life. Some may feel abandoned or betrayed by their higher power, leading to feelings of anger, resentment, and disconnection. But spirituality can also be a source of resilience and healing for trauma survivors. In the aftermath of a traumatic event, many people turn to their spiritual beliefs and practices for comfort, solace, and strength. They may find peace in prayer, meditation, or ritual, or they may seek guidance from spiritual leaders or mentors. In fact, research has shown that spirituality can play a significant role in post-traumatic growth, a concept that refers to the positive changes that can occur as a result of trauma. Trauma survivors who are able to find meaning and purpose in their experiences and who are able to reframe their trauma in a positive light are more likely to experience post-traumatic growth. Spirituality can help trauma survivors to reframe their experiences in a number of ways. For example, they may see their trauma as a transformative experience that has given them a new perspective on life, or they may view their trauma as a test of their faith that has made them stronger and more resilient. In addition, spirituality can provide a sense of connection to something larger than oneself, which can be particularly important for trauma survivors who may feel isolated or disconnected from others. This sense of connection can help to counteract the feelings of aloneness and disconnection that are common in the aftermath of a traumatic event. Furthermore, spirituality can provide a sense of purpose and meaning, which can be particularly important for trauma survivors who may struggle to find meaning in their experiences. By seeing their trauma as a part of a larger spiritual journey, trauma survivors may be able to find a sense of purpose and direction that they might not have otherwise. Overall, spirituality can play a powerful role in the healing process for trauma survivors. By providing comfort, solace, and a sense of connection and purpose, spirituality can help trauma survivors to find meaning and growth in the aftermath of trauma. You know, I've been thinking a lot about the power of gratitude lately. It's one of those things that's easy to overlook in our busy lives, but the truth is it can have a huge impact on our mental health. Research shows that practicing gratitude can actually make us happier, improve our sleep, and even reduce symptoms of depression and anxiety. It's not just some woo-woo idea, it's backed by science. So, how can we make gratitude a part of our daily lives? One simple way is to keep a gratitude journal. Just take a few minutes each day to write down 3 things you're thankful for. It could be something as small as a good cup of coffee or a beautiful sunset. The key is to focus on the present moment rather than dwelling on the past or worrying about the future. Another way to practice gratitude is to share it with others. Write a thank you note to a friend or family member, or just take a moment to express your appreciation to a coworker or stranger. Not only does this strengthen our relationships, but it also helps us shift our focus away from our own problems and towards the good things in our lives. But gratitude isn't just about personal benefits. It can also be a spiritual practice. When we cultivate gratitude, we can start to recognize that we're not alone in this world. We're part of a bigger web of life, connected to others and the natural world. This sense of connection can lead to a sense of awe and wonder, and a deeper sense of purpose. For some people, this might mean exploring a spiritual or religious tradition. For others, it might just mean taking a walk in nature or practicing mindfulness. Whatever your beliefs, gratitude can help deepen your sense of purpose and meaning. So let's make a commitment to prioritize gratitude in our lives. Let's take a few minutes each day to focus on the good stuff, appreciate the small things, and connect with something bigger than ourselves. It's not always easy, but the benefits are undeniable. By cultivating gratitude, we can improve our mental health, strengthen our relationships, and live a life that's full, rich, and connected. And as we practice gratitude, let's remember that it's not just about feeling good, it's about living a life that's grounded in appreciation rather than anxiety, a life that's guided by love rather than fear. So let's give it a try. Let's choose gratitude every day and every moment. It might just change our lives. The power of community is a vital aspect of our lives that's often overlooked in our individualistic society. I know I do, I'm a big loner. But the truth is, having a strong, supportive community is essential for our mental health and well-being. When I was struggling with my mental health, I found solace in the community of a local NAMI, National Alliance on Mental Illness chapter. The support and understanding of my fellow community members was invaluable. I also found a strong foundation in a 12-step fellowship, which helped me develop a strong sense of purpose and meaning. Through these experiences, I learned the importance of community in supporting mental health and well-being. And now I'm passionate about giving back what I've learned to help others. That's why I started the Recovery Rising podcast and Discord community. I wanted to create a space where people could come together, share their experiences, and support one another on their own mental health journeys. As someone who lives with autism, bipolar, ADHD, anxiety, and other mental health conditions, I understand the challenges that come with navigating mental health system. I've been there, and I've learned that having a strong, supportive community can make all the difference. Through my podcast and Discord community, I've been able to help and connect with others who are going through similar struggles. We share our experiences, our struggles, and our triumphs. We support each other, encourage each other, and lift each other up. And in doing so, we create a sense of belonging and connection that's essential for our mental health and well-being. Community is a powerful force. It can help us heal, grow, and thrive. It can provide us with a sense of belonging and connection that's essential for our mental health and well-being. And it can give us a sense of purpose and meaning that's vital for our spiritual growth. So let's prioritize community. Let's seek out supportive, loving, and inclusive communities that nourish our minds, bodies, and spirits. Let's be part of something bigger than ourselves, something that gives us a sense of belonging and connection. Let's find our tribe, our family, and our home in a community that supports us, uplifts us, and inspires us to be our best selves. And let's give back what we've learned to help others, just as I've tried to do through my podcast and Discord community. Together, we can rise above our struggles and shine our light for all to see. As we navigate the complexities of modern life, it's easy to overlook the intricate web of connections between our physical, mental, and spiritual well-being. But what if I told you that one of the most essential aspects of our daily lives, sleep, holds a profound link to our spirituality? That's right, the very act of surrendering to slumber can be a powerful catalyst for spiritual growth and mental clarity. Let's face it, sleep is essential for our mental health. When we don't get enough rest, our minds can become foggy, our emotions erratic, and our resilience to stress is severely compromised. In fact, chronic sleep deprivation has been linked to increased risk of depression, anxiety, and even suicide. It's no wonder that the National Sleep Foundation recommends adults aim for 7 to 9 hours of sleep each night. But what about the role of spiritual practices in improving sleep quality? Research suggests that regular meditation and prayer can have a profound impact on your ability to fall asleep, stay asleep, and even enhance the quality of our sleep. By quieting the mind and calming the nervous system, these practices can help us relax into a state of deep relaxation, making it easier to drift off into a restful slumber. But here's the thing. What if I flipped the script and started viewing sleep as a spiritual practice in and of itself? What if the act of surrendering to sleep became an intentional act of self-care, a way to connect with our deepest selves and tap into the mysteries of the universe? Think about it. When we sleep, we're surrendering to the unknown, trusting that our bodies will repair and rejuvenate themselves while our minds are busy processing and consolidating memories. It's a vulnerable and intimate act, one that requires us to let go of control and simply be. Isn't that, in and of itself, a form of spiritual surrender? By approaching sleep as a spiritual practice, we can begin to see the sacred in the mundane. We can start to view our beds as altars, our pillows as sacred spaces for rest and rejuvenation. We can even use sleep as a means of connecting with something greater than ourselves, be it a higher power, the universe, or simply the collective unconscious. So the next time you crawl into bed, take a moment to pause and acknowledge the sacredness of the act. Allow yourself to let go of the day's worries and stressors and simply surrender to the present moment. Who knows, you might just find yourself tapping into a deeper sense of peace, clarity, and connection to the world around you. Sleep, it turns out, is not just a necessity, it's a spiritual practice waiting to be explored. Another essential aspect to examine is the impact of social media on our mental health and spirituality. Social media has become an integral part of our daily lives, with many of us spending hours each day scrolling through our feeds, sharing updates, and connecting with others. But at what cost? Research has shown that excessive social media use can lead to increased anxiety, depression, and feelings of inadequacy. We compare our lives to the curated highlight reels of others, forgetting that no one posts their messy moments or imperfections online. This constant comparison can lead to a sense of insecurity and dissatisfaction, eroding our mental well-being. But what about the impact on spirituality? Social media has also had a profound effect on how we approach spirituality. On one hand, it's allowed for the spread of inspiring stories, teachings, and wisdom from spiritual leaders and communities. However, it's also enabled the spread of misinformation and the commodification of spirituality. We see influencers peddling spiritual products and services, watering down the depth and meaning of spiritual practices. Moreover, social media can distract us from our inner journeys, leading us to focus on external validation and likes rather than inner growth and self-reflection. We may spend more time scrolling through spiritual memes and quotes than actually engaging in spiritual practices or reflecting on our values and beliefs. So, what can we do to promote healthy social media use that supports our mental well-being and spiritual growth? Here are some tips. 1. Set boundaries. Limit your social media use to specific times of the day and take breaks from it regularly. 2. Follow accounts that uplift and inspire. Unfollow or mute accounts that make you feel bad about yourself or others. 3. Use social media intentionally. Use social media to connect with others, learn new things, and find community, but don't let it replace face-to-face interactions or meaningful spiritual practices. 4. Verify sources. Be cautious of misinformation and verify the source of spiritual teachings or advice before sharing or believing them. 5. Practice self-compassion. Remember that everyone on social media is presenting a curated version of themselves, and that's okay to not have a perfect life or spiritual practice. By being mindful of our social media use and taking steps to mitigate its negative effects, we can promote mental health and well-being and spiritual growth. Let's use social media in a way that supports our inner journeys rather than distracting us from them. As we explore the intersections of mental health and spirituality, forgiveness is a crucial aspect to consider. Forgiveness is not about absolving others of their wrongdoing, but rather about releasing the negative emotions that are holding us back. When we choose to forgive, we're not doing it for the other person, we're doing it for ourselves. Research has shown that forgiveness has a profound impact on mental health. By letting go of resentment and anger, we can reduce symptoms of anxiety and depression and even improve our overall well-being. Forgiveness allows us to release the emotional weight that's been holding us back, freeing us to move forward with greater clarity and purpose. Spiritual practices like prayer and meditation can be powerful tools for facilitating forgiveness. Through prayer, we can ask for guidance and support as we work to release our anger and resentment. Meditation can help us cultivate a sense of compassion and understanding, allowing us to see the humanity in others, even if they've wronged us. I've personally experienced the transformative power of forgiveness in my own life. After a painful experience, I struggled with anger and resentment towards the person involved. But as I began to practice forgiveness, I noticed a profound shift within myself. I no longer felt weighed down by the negative emotions, and I was able to approach the situation with greater clarity and compassion. Forgiveness didn't mean that I condoned the other person's behavior. It simply meant that I was choosing to release the anger and move forward. It's important to remember that forgiveness is not about the other person, it's about us. Anger is like drinking poison and expecting the other person to die. When we hold on to anger and resentment, we're only harming ourselves. Forgiveness is not about absolving others of their wrongdoing, it's about releasing the negative emotions that are holding us back. Forgiveness is a powerful tool for improving mental health and spirituality. By releasing the burden of resentment and anger, we can move forward with greater clarity and purpose and compassion. Through spiritual practices like prayer and meditation, we can cultivate forgiveness and experience transformative power of letting go. Remember, forgiveness is not for you, it's for the other person. It's time to release the poison of anger and embrace the liberation of forgiveness. Welcome to the final segment of this episode of Recovery Rising, where we explore the intersection of mental health, tarot, magic, and spirituality for holistic wellness. Today, we've covered a range of topics from the connection between mental health and spirituality to the impact of social media on our well-being. As we close out this episode, I want to encourage you to continue exploring the intersection of mental health and spirituality. Remember that mental health is not just about therapy and medication, but also about cultivating a deeper sense of purpose, meaning, and connection. Spiritual practices like meditation, mindfulness, and gratitude can have a profound impact on our mental well-being, helping us to reduce stress, anxiety, and depression. If you're looking for further resources to support your journey, be sure to check out the show notes for links to articles, books, and online courses that can help you dive deeper into these topics. And don't forget to join the Recovery Rising Discord server, where you can connect with like-minded individuals and continue the conversation. Now, a quick teaser for our next episode. We'll be exploring the topic of navigating ADHD with spiritual practices. If you or someone you know is living with ADHD, you won't want to miss this episode. We'll be discussing how spiritual practices like mindfulness, meditation, and energy work can help manage symptoms and improve overall well-being. Before we go, I want to leave you with a final thought. As we navigate the complexities of mental health and spirituality, remember that we are not alone. We are part of a larger community, connected through our shared human experiences and our desires for growth, healing, and transformation. So, as we close out this episode, I invite you to take a deep breath, feel the presence of that community around you, and remember that you are loved, you are worthy, and you are enough. Thank you for tuning in to the Recovery Rising. Join us next time for more insights and inspirations on the journey to holistic wellness. Remember to subscribe to our podcast on your favorite platform, and don't forget to leave us a review. Your feedback helps us reach more people and create more content that matters. Until next time, may you walk in the light of love, compassion, and understanding.